More than 40,000 bodies that are buried at Chikomo Kemhute Cemetery, which is part of the Glen Forest Memorial Park, face being exhumed after allegations were raised that the burial grounds and crematorium had not been approved by government. Chikomo Kemhute Cemetery was supposed to have sought and obtained approvals from the Ministries of Local Government, National Housing and Public Works, as stipulated by Sections 35 and 14 of the Cemeteries Act and the Cremation Act, respectively, according to a local law firm. The land is reserved for agricultural purposes, it is within the catchment area of Mazo Dam, and it is less than 200 meters from residential areas, among other things. Our instructions are to request that the Commission, Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, investigates the actions of Kadrina Investments and its officers and bring them to book. Our clients and the writer are available for any assistance and/or clarifications that you may require. Lawyers from Mishinkomo Legal Practice, representing Foppled Investments Private Limited, said in a letter to the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission. Fungaim Paradzi, the chairman of Kadrina Investments Private Limited, referred all questions on the matter to Marowa Maleki, the head of service provision at Glen Forest Memorial Park. Maleki said Chikomo Kemhute was part of the Glen Forest Memorial Park, where families were allowed to choose places where they want their relatives to be buried. Glen Forest is an independent company that operates a cemetery and a crematorium. Glen Forest operates legally and has approval from Goromanzi Rural District Council and all appropriate line ministries. Glen Forest has Environment Management Agency (EMA) approval to operate a cemetery and a crematorium. It buries everybody in lined graves, and this was a condition given by EMA in its approval, Maleki said. He, however, did not give clarity on allegations that Chikomo Kemhute was a separate entity under Foppled Investments and whether the cemetery needed the local government minister's approval. Foppled Investments, Private Limited is said to hold 49% shares in Kadrina Investments, Private Limited, which also owns Chikomo Kemhute. Chikomo Kemhute is an entity registered for purposes of holding the asset on which the Glen Forest Memorial Park is. It is alleged that Foppled Investments later discovered that the cemetery and crematorium at Glen Forest were unlawful as they did not seek or had not obtained approvals from government. The Mishinkomo lawyers allege that Mparadzi hid the existence of Chikomo Kemhute from Foppled Investments, adding that the entity had never appeared on the books of Kadrina Investments. However, grave purchases are said to be directed into Kadrina Investments' bank account. Upon being quizzed over the sale of burial sites on Chikomo Kemhute, Mparadzi denied any such enterprises. Kadrina Investments Private Limited, due to the fraudulent misrepresentations by Mparadzi, sold and continues to sell burial sites to government departments, parastatals and private citizens on a piece of land which is not and can never be approved for a cemetery, the lawyers wrote. They also alleged that Mparadzi has been selling graves through Evolution Insurance over the past 5 years. The matter came to light after one of Kadrina investment directors, Joseph Krinkovic, who represents 100 overseas investors, discovered the offense. He said he was forced to flee the country after raising alarm. Krinkovic denied that Chikomo Kemhute and Glen Forest shared one license. He claimed that Chikomo Kemhute owns subdivision 24 of Wellston, a farm in Glen Forest measuring 467 hectares. Audited financial statements of Kadrina Investments Private Limited show that it was Kadrina that was in business of developing and selling graves, and so I never had access to the metadata accounts until I asked them and was removed from the country, Krinkovic said. Machine Como lawyers have also written to local service providers on behalf of Krnkovic, asking them to stop buying graves at Chikomo Kembute. ZAC spokesperson John McAmere said, "I am yet to see the complaint, but if they reported the matter, they did the right thing, and it will be investigated thoroughly."